Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am doing a little Q&A video, but specifically to do with my music. Now, a couple of people have asked me various questions from some of my other videos, and so I thought it was about time that I gave you a little bit of a background into my love of music, where it all started, and some other really fun questions. So without further ado, let's get into the Q&A. So the first question I want to answer is, when was my first love for music? Because I don't specifically remember a time where it just went, oh, I love music now. I just always remember loving music. Apparently as a baby growing up, people would sing tunes to me and I would hum them back, and so I clearly really liked my music even as a baby. My whole family is quite musical actually, and we always had a piano in our house growing up, so I was always surrounded by music, which I think really helped just cement like my love for it, because I was always just doing something musical. Okay, question number 2 is, do I play any instruments, and what instruments do I play? My main instrument is the piano. I also play the guitar. I self-taught myself the ukulele. And then there's like a few instruments that I used to play like maybe once, and that was it. So I had violin lessons when I was younger. Didn't stick around though. I also played the recorder in primary school, as every 8-year-old British kid does at primary school. But I do have a really random box of like percussion instruments. So I've got maracas, I've got a glockenspiel, I've got an African thumb piano, I've got a bongo cajon, so I've got like I've got a harmonica, so I've got like a really random array of musical instruments. So question number 3 is, did I ever have lessons for any of my instruments? Now, like I just said, I used to have violin lessons. I had piano lessons from when I was at primary school, various different teachers. I remember this one teacher lived down a road, and I called it Balamori Road because all the houses were different colours. And she lived at the end of this road, and she had this cat, and I was absolutely terrified of this cat. So every now and then when it would come in the room, I'd like jump up and move away, and then the teacher would like have to put it in her kitchen. It's just so random. I also had guitar lessons. I actually started by learning myself, and my brother taught me my first few chords, and then I sort of just kept playing myself. And then decided I wanted to better myself and become more confident, so I got lessons, but gave that up after about a year or so, because I realised that actually I really mainly wanted to focus on the piano, and I'm now currently starting my grade 5 on the piano. So after I stopped my last lessons with that teacher, I then just kept playing myself, and it was about 3 years ago that I decided I wanted to have lessons again and get more confident and progress more in my ability to play. So yeah, I've been having lessons since. I'm now working on my grade 5, and I'm having a lot of fun. So question number 4 is, are there any instruments that I want to learn? Now, yes. I mean, in an ideal world, I would love to be able to just play any instrument and pick it up. There's a few specific ones I'd really like to learn. One is the bass guitar, which actually I have got a bass guitar, and oh my goodness, it is yellow. How cool is that? I'd love to play electric guitar as well. I'd love to be able to play the drums, which is interesting because 2 instruments I really struggle with due to being autistic and having sensory difficulties is the bass and the drums, but I really want to learn them both. I think I'd be really good at the drums because I have a good sense of rhythm. However, my friend tried teaching me once, just like a 5-minute thing, and I can do 2 things at once, and as soon as you have to add in a foot or another hand, it just went all over the place. So who knows if I'd be good at it. Maybe one day I'll look more properly into learning the drums, but that's always been on my list. I would love to play the harp, which is such a random one, but I just think it's such a beautiful instrument. However, it kind of scares me. Like, I know you can get different sized harps, so they're not all like giant, but I don't know what it is, like, because it's such an unusual shape and it's kind of a unique instrument, and that sort of scares me a bit. But I think it would sound really nice. I'd also really love to play the saxophone, but I have played an instrument before. I've tried to play the trumpet before, where you have to blow into it, and I really struggled with those kind of instruments, so mouth instruments might not be my thing, but who knows, maybe one day. Question 5 is, when was the first time I performed? Now, I don't remember this specifically, but the first time I remember doing a performance was at one of my previous churches. My mum and I did a duet for the Harvest Supper, and we sung a song called There Is a Higher Throne by Keith and Kristen Getty. I remember turning up and being so nervous for it, and then the lady telling us, oh, by the way, you're going to be first out of all the acts, and I went, we're first, that's not good, I'm not ready. But I remember absolutely loving it. I must have been about 9 at the time, I imagine. So yeah, like, that was like the first time really that I remember performing. Okay, question 6 is, what is my experience with performing? When I properly started performing was probably back in 2017, when I started doing open mics. A friend of mine, actually, who I knew through the running community, he was doing open mics. He's an amazing performer, and said, oh, you should definitely come along. So I started off doing open mics every now and then, like once or twice a month. Which is quite fun. However, I did really struggle with some of them because they can be quite late. And obviously, being in a pub, it gets quite loud. They have lots of lights on, just like, it's a bit of a sensory overload. So eventually I sort of just stopped doing them because it was getting a bit much. But they were a lot of fun. So I started doing open mics, and that really helped, like, help me grow in confidence and stuff, because at this point I had already been uploading covers and videos to YouTube and to Facebook probably for about 2 or 3 years now, and so I was used to performing in front of a camera, but I wasn't used to performing in front of, like, people actually in a live setting, so that was very different, but it was a lot of fun. In 2019 I applied to perform in a show called Autism's Got Talent, which was held in London, which I've actually done a vlog about on my channel, so if you want to watch that, I'll put the link in the description down below. And that's led me to so many other opportunities, like I performed at an autism expo that they were doing in London. I also was very fortunate to perform in Autism's Got Talent up in Middlesbrough for the road show, which was really, really fun. The first time I'd, like, travelled anywhere by myself, which was it was a cool experience. I'm really glad I did it. So yeah, those have been really great experiences. So at this point you might say I'm a pro at performing. Well, I still get nervous every time, but I'm definitely getting a bit more used to it, and I'm having tons of fun. So question 7 is, what musical hobbies do I do, or do I want to do, other than singing, playing, performing? So one thing that I do every week is rock choir, and I absolutely love rock choir. A friend from my previous church introduced me to rock choir, and I've never looked back since. It's a whole ton of fun. It doesn't matter if you can't sing amazingly, or if you can't read music, because they don't have sheet music, and you can just turn up, be yourself, have a load of fun singing with a bunch of people. You're all there for the same reason. It's really great. It's probably the highlight of my week. Really lifts my spirits up. And yes, that's a bunch of fun. I've also actually led my own choir before, and that was really fun. For a good couple of years we had a few events that we performed at, church events, and getting to lead a choir was very nerve-wracking, but it was the coolest thing ever. Like getting to arrange the songs, coming up with the harmony parts, and then teaching it to people, and then seeing it all come together as a whole piece at the end is it's really gratifying. And I also really love to go to the theatre. Now, I know this isn't necessarily music as such, but I love all things musical theatre, the songs, the storylines, the acting, just the experience of going to the theatre is so fun. My friends and I are actually going to see Dear Evan Hansen in March, which is my all-time favourite musical. I have seen it already, but they haven't seen it, and I'm so excited for them to see it, and for me to see it again. So I love going to the theatre. I also think that it would be really cool to be in like some sort of big band. I saw some live music a couple weeks back at a church event, and just watching everyone like have so much fun playing all their instruments and it coming together to make this one sound, it was yeah, it was really cool. And I think that one day, like maybe when I'm really confident in an instrument, it would be really fun to be a part of a community like that. So who knows. Question 8 is, who are my favourite musical artists? Now, this is a really tough one because I wouldn't necessarily say I have favourite artists, but more favourite songs, because I tend to like specific songs. I couldn't say, oh, my favourite artist is Sabrina Carpenter, because I don't like all of her music. I just like some of her music or specific songs from her music. So it's a really difficult one. I do love Sabrina Carpenter, mainly her old music. Obviously I understand people change, people grow and evolve as they get older. I just think it's a shame now that like half the musicians out there think that it's cool to have swear words in every line of a song. I just don't understand the appeal to it. But I love her old music. Same with Taylor Swift. I really like her old country stuff. Her Red album. Yes, like the old style stuff. There's actually a guy that inspired me when I was writing a lot of my music, who very sadly passed away recently, I found out. But his name was Mike Grayson, and he was a Christian artist, and he wrote a lot of songs. It was very much a unique style. It wasn't necessarily congregational songs, but more performance songs, and some of them were very close to his personal life, and yeah, I just really love listening to his music. And also, favourite boy band of all time, Westlife. Can't go wrong with Westlife. I love pretty much most of their songs. My mum and I used to listen to them a lot on car rides when I was younger, and I think that's probably what got me into them. So Westlife, yeah, they're the best. Okay, question 9 is, what is my favourite genre of music? Now, I just have a few that I really like. These aren't all of them because it sort of changes from time to time as to what I'm sort of fancying or in the mood for. But generally, I really like country music. I really like acoustic music. Someone just sitting with a piano or a guitar, really stripped back. I really like that kind of music. I love pop music, but sort of pre-2010 pop music, so stuff like Kelly Clarkson, Avril Lavigne, Spice Girls, who's the one that doing Sound of the Underground? Who's that one? And they did it. Girls Loud. No, is that Girls Loud? Yeah, Girls Loud. Like, you know, the classic, like that sort of era of songs. Obviously Westlife. Can that just be a genre of music? I'm going to call it a genre of music, Westlife. And I also love musical theatre music, obviously, and also Southern gospel music. I don't know what it is, but I love hearing the bass in a Southern gospel music. Like how they get so low, it just astonishes me. So a wide variety of different styles. So question 10 is, when did I start writing songs? it's funny because I always say that the first song I ever wrote was my song Be Okay, but actually I attempted to write my first worship song back in 2014, so I would have been 16 at the time. It was so cringy. But yeah, so I wrote one in 2014 which was rubbish, and we're just going to forget about that one. So really it was 2017 when I started writing songs. Like I said, the first song I wrote was called Be Okay. I actually wrote that one in a wardrobe, which is so random. And then I wrote my song There For You, which I wrote for my best friend. And then, yeah, just like gradually I started writing more and more. I think lockdown probably helped because I had more time to write about things, and experiment with things, and just more things to write about, really. So, yeah, I've been writing for a while. I guess 10 years now, really, if you count the first one. So the next question is, where do I get my inspiration for my songs? The answer is my life. I don't really know how to write about something that I can't relate to. I tend to write a lot about experiences I've been through, or experiences that, like, people I know have been through, things that have affected me, things that I'm passionate about. That's sort of where my song inspiration comes from. So question 12 is, how do I write my songs? Now, this varies from song to song. Sometimes the music will come first. Sometimes I'll just be sitting at my piano or on my guitar and my hands will just start playing something and I'll be like, oh, that's nice. And then it will sort of progress into something else. And then I think, oh, this would be a nice song. And then I try and like add words to it afterwards. Sometimes the lyrics come first. For example, like I'll be in a conversation with someone and I think, oh, that would make a good song. Or like the title of a song. So for example, I was in a conversation with my friend Chris, who I've been recording my album with, and I somehow noticed I was saying a lot, "If You Say So," and I thought, well, that'd be a good title for a song, so I wrote it down. And I actually have ended up writing a song called If You Say So. But things like that, like sometimes the lyrics will come first, sometimes the music will come first. It just varies. And also, I don't always write my songs in one go. So the first Christmas song I wrote, which is called It's All About You, I started it at the end of 2019, and I didn't finish it till 2021, I think it was. But on the other end of the spectrum, and my song Summer Song, it came to me in half an hour. I wrote the song in half an hour. So it really just varies. Every song is different. So there we go. There was my little musical Q&A. I hope you really enjoyed it and you learnt something new about me. Because it's nice for us to get to know each other and building this community on my YouTube channel, which has almost been 10 years since I've been posting. Can you believe it? I can't quite. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If there's any other topics you'd like me to do a Q&A on, let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell, ding ding ding, to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you next time.